Let me see something.
Like the birds. It's a nice touch.
There it is. You have to feature it if it ever happens again. With the star, you have to feature it. The star next to it, so it will launch.
There we go. Well, those units. Okay.
All right. Sorry, I was panicking.
But those units on the second and third floor.
Yeah, that's the Vogue one in the street.
Here?
He says it's not something that
I just didn't know if you said issue.
Yeah, appreciate it. Okay. Keep track of what it is. Make sure nobody has the wrong one.
Telling out today, that was good.
That's okay. You're mixed up with that other lady police program. That's why.
I do this.
Well, now I feel bad. Now I feel like I'm leaning on you guys to just say hi. I'm Ryan. I'm Robert. But yeah. Detail you were 20 points.
Oh, this.
I went over by about 40 seconds, he said.
Wow.
And but everybody else moved way over. So.
You should have said that's my contingency. And they would have said, you're not getting hired.
Yeah, that was the
Right?
I just kept
That's the one word they hate to hear.
Yeah, they hate that one.
No surprises, I heard.
Yeah.
That's good.
No, Mr. Graves was a write-in, but
want to slowly. I had a slow leak once for months, and I finally took it to the tire and had it fixed. They pulled a piece of car. It was like one of those, like a clown act where they pulled it. I must have
Ended up wasn't the tire. I bent my rim.
Yeah.
Having arrived and passed, apologies for our tardiness, I now call to order the agenda-setting meeting for the Woodland Hills School Board for the month of November 2017. Ms. Puhle, will you call the roll, please?
Ms. Ava Johnson. Mr. Fred Kuhn. Dr. Jeffrey Hildebrand.
Here.
Mr. Jeff Hanchett. Mr. Mike Belmont.
Here.
Mr. Robert Tomasic. Mrs. Sharday Sellison.
Present.
Mr. David Graves.
Here.
Ms. Jamie Glasser.
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. There is no moment of silence this meeting. Next week we will accept the minutes for the agenda and legislative meetings from last month. We did have an executive session this evening to discuss legal and personnel matters. Announcements?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I just had two. I was asked to pass this announcement along for the 6th consecutive year. Ms. Tara Reese, Woodland Hills parent, will be acting as liaison with Family Links and our district to provide holiday gifts for folks in need of all ages in our area. The Giving Tree, found in the lobby of our senior high school, is now set up with 100 tags with individual wish lists. Ms. Reese would like to thank National Honor Society students Isabel Paparella, Katie Hanchett, Gina Davis, and Emily Carpenter, along with Adam and Riley Reese, for getting the tree set up in time for parent-teacher conferences. Please consider picking up a wish list and making the holiday season a little brighter for a child, parent, or senior citizen in our area. And all wrapped gifts should be returned to the senior high school by Wednesday, December the 6th. And the only other announcement I had, I was going to make the congratulations to the board, or do you want to do that? Just wanted to congratulate Mr. Mike Belmont, Ms. Sharday Seligson, Mr. David Graves, current members of the board who have won seat in re-election, so congratulations to those board members. Also, congratulations to Akia Kester, I believe I pronounced that, and Paige Strasbaugh, who's joining us tonight. So congratulations to all of you on being elected to the Board of School Directors. And that's all I have.
Yeah, we look forward to working with everyone to do good things. I do have two announcements about upcoming meetings of the board. Please note that our committee meetings have been changed. We will not meet on the 22nd of November. We will, however, have 2 evenings of committee meetings 2 weeks from now, the 20th and 21st. That's Monday and Tuesday. And in addition, just a reminder that our December meeting is on the first Monday of December, which is December 4th this year. And that'll be a reorganization and appointment meeting where we'll swear in all of our new members as well. And the legislative meeting follows that immediately. Thanks for the reminder. Okay. No student speakers this evening. They'll be here next week, I believe.
Correct.
And we do have a presentation from our stalwart team of architects and engineers.
All right. Well, thank you very much. For the new members and members of the audience, I'm Ryan Pierce, Principal Architect from J.C. Pierce. With me are my two of my partners, Pete Szymanski and David Nitschke, who's walking around back there. And also we have with us tonight from Reynolds, Rob Strickler and Tim Travern. They're the construction managers and working on the estimating. This is going to be a pretty brief presentation. We're just going to, the goal is to bring you up to speed on the schematic design because we've hit that milestone and we've completed that package, including the cost estimate, and we're moving into the design development phase, which is the next phase. And this is one of those checkpoints along the process that we talked about in the last meeting that we had, where you have an opportunity to review the project and say, it's good, continue to move forward. And there's going to be several of those as we move along. Just a very quick refresher of the scope of work that we are getting some kind of feedback here.
Yeah, I think it's maybe get a little closer to the mic.
Really get closer or further, right?
I think they're trying to turn it up. So
okay. Can everybody see the screen, or am I blocking you? Let me take this off. There, how's that? Just a quick review of the scope of work. We're going to be building several classroom additions, a new gymnasium addition, relocating the cafeteria and the media center, and reorganizing the entire floor plan of the building. Obviously, we're trying to keep as many partitions in place as we can within the classroom structure of the building, but we are reorganizing the big box spaces, the shared spaces in the building. We're going to renovate the entire MEP system in the building, fix all exterior envelope issues. That would be any roof leaks, windows, doors, any masonry issues, etc. And then upgrade paving and site components. And our preliminary budget for the project was $26,407,000, and that's all in. That includes hard costs for construction and soft costs. This is the existing building. As you can see here, with existing Governor's Drive and fields, the idea is to demolish this field house space and construct a new addition on this end of the building, and then improve the site layout throughout. Originally, you probably recall we had a much longer addition. It included classrooms, the gymnasium, etc. It just basically stretched the building in this direction, and it went way out and pretty much took up this entire field. We reorganized that plan, and Pete's going to go into more detail on how and why. Basically turned it into an L shape. This did a lot of things for us. It first of all, preserved more of the site and preserve more of this field. Secondly, it allowed us to tuck some space underneath and use some space that was going to be unexcavated space, which is much less expensive to build than additional building footprint. And it also created a nice courtyard effect in front of the building, a much better entrance, and eased the severity of the length of this building. So, this is our existing school. This is the addition. The exterior concept, or the aesthetic intent, is to make it look like it's been there for a long time, but contemporary and up to date. So this is that addition that turns the corner 90 degrees, and it's a gymnasium, cafeteria, and classroom space. So Pete, why don't you take us through the floor plan?
So functionally what ends up happening for this building is that the lower level, which is what you see here, and the first floor become all of the common spaces and specialty classrooms. So on this lower level, what is currently the cafeteria is now going to become the library and media center, and what is currently the gymnasium space is going to become the cafeteria. And underneath the new addition portion of the classroom space will be the kitchen and the rest of the back of the house receiving type spaces.
And those spaces back up into the hillside, which allows, which works because you have spaces that don't require a lot of windows.
And then you can see a lot more of the reflection of the L now because on that lower level, everything here will be unexcavated. This is actually slab on grade type of stuff. So the main entrance, where it currently is now, is going to be reconfigured into this admin office suite with the security entrance vestibule and all of their accoutrements as well as the nurses' suite and guidance. Directly above the library and media center is actually sort of the arts wing. So we have the art classroom, and then we have the STEAM classroom and lab. And they actually, because this space originally when the building was built was the auditorium that was split into 2 levels in, I believe, 95, this actually has a communicating stair so that we have the library and media center, the art classroom, and the STEAM classroom all connected so that there can be a lot of synergy back and forth as far as what the curriculum is concerned. Overlooking the new cafeteria is the location of the large group instruction space. And then immediately adjacent to that is their full music suite. And what really makes this nice is the music suite has a nice placement near the gymnasium and multi-purpose room for where the stage is, as far as getting the students from here to the performance stage and vice versa. So that's basically the lower level and the first floor are all of your common and specialty spaces. And then the second and third floor end up being all of your classrooms. The standard classrooms are sort of organized into pods. So on the second floor, all of these classrooms here are dedicated to fourth floor. Fifth floor is split between, or fifth grade, sorry, is split between the second and the third floor. We have all of the necessary special education spaces in the ebb and flow. And what really ended up being nice is that, like I said, this is the fifth floor, so they're stacked directly above each other, and this is the sixth grade. They're over there. They're all sort of in their little pods.
And this arrangement of the building was developed with the administration.
That is correct.
So they've had a great deal of input into this design.
We had a lot of meetings with the building administration as well as the specialty teachers.
And the pods are really one of Allison's designs that she wanted to see very badly. So
I think the next slide is here's the estimate. Tim and Rob, take it.
Hi, as Ryan mentioned, I'm Tim Travaney. I'm senior project estimator for the project, pre-con manager. We divided the project costs into these segments here. Site, we're at $1,260,992. That includes the demolition of the existing maintenance building that's at the end of the school. New construction, we have $9,409,000 budgeted for that. Renovations of $8,497,000. Payment performance bonds, escalation contingency, all came to $2,183,819 for total construction cost of $21,351,000. Soft cost budgets, we carried over the same amount pretty much that we had, except for some things that were percentages that changed a little bit, but it comes to $5,030,086. Total project cost of $26,407,017, which is actually a little bit under what we originally thought back in preliminary budget. Any questions on the estimate?
is any of this anticipated being done as any kind of guaranteed energy savings like a Giza project? Or is it all?
That's our hope. At this point,
But that's not in those numbers, as they say.
no, that's not reflected because we're still in a very preliminary stage of the design. Of the
You haven't done the design yet.
and so we're really beginning to do a lot more investigation into what could be done and what parts and pieces of equipment and systems are there that are worth reusing. And so what this shows, all new HVAC, all new electrical throughout the building. We're hoping that, by doing some testing and investigation further, that we're able to discover that we can save some parts and pieces of the building and bring that cost down, but we don't have anything that we can really give you concrete on that yet.
So if that happened, it would only bring that cost down.
Correct. Yep.
We can only go down from here with all of our
Okay.
engineering.
Yep.
So what's the building capacity right now, student-wise? What's the...
Right now?
No, so what's that designed?
Do you guys what the...
So I think functionally it would be very comfortable about 700. You don't have the students right now.
That's right. So allowing for charter expansion.
Right, so when Mike gets all the students back from charters.
Yeah, that's allowing for charter expansion. We're under, well under 600 right now, that building.
Any other questions?
I mean, one point on the capacity, that accounts for a pretty conservative class size, too. So you'll have some options there in how you...
Okay.
One thing I want to point out with regard to the budget, I think the moral of this story, and when you dig through the book that Reynolds gave you that shows all the detail, this is a detailed takeoff estimate, unlike the first estimate, which was just based on dollars per square foot and experience that we have and they have together. This is actually based on this set of drawings, which you'll receive a copy of as well. And we feel pretty comfortable that we're within that original budget because we still have sizable contingencies in that budget as well. So we're hopeful that we can do better than that, and I think this is probably a worst case scenario number. Would you guys agree with that? I don't want to step on your toes.
No, absolutely, yeah. I mean, the number that we're showing here is slightly below what we originally estimated, and as Ryan said, we still have some contingencies in there because things change as we go through the process, but yeah, I think we're very comfortable that we'll be able to get within that budget or below.
Okay. Any other questions at this point?
Can I ask a question? Do you guys plan on staying until 14.3 and all these other things, or we talk about the other?
Yes.
Okay, well, we can talk about it then.
I had planned on it.
Okay.
You're welcome to change my plans.
Very good. Okay. Seeing no further questions, we'll move on to registered speakers. Ms. Boobin?
I need to move this stuff.
Just a reminder about the 2-minute time limit, and we'll answer questions that you might raise during that portion of the agenda.
Congratulations to everybody that was voted in.
Thanks.
The superintendent wants to hire or wants to get RFPs for a PR advertising firm. Once again, this is a smokescreen and not addressing the real issues. You need to fix the district first, then try to turn into a win for the district and win back students and the public. What you would be doing by hiring a PR firm would be false advertising. The issue that is making enrollment decline is still going to exist. The money spent on a useless ad campaign would be better spent on making the schools safer and stopping the fights that are posted all over social media by your students. They're shown on buses. They're shown in gatherings. These videos would negate anything that a PR firm and advertising would be saying, so it would be a waste of money. The best PR would be to increase scores, stop all the fights, and stop blaming everyone and everything else for the district failing. Look in the mirror. You all caused this by covering up the real issues. You all need to find the solution without false advertising, which, if voted for, would only increase numbers for a hot minute until the children leave again once the public finds out what the district really is. Without fixing the issues, they only multiply. It may seem like the same people complaining week after week, meeting after meeting, but in reality, people come to me and they want me to speak for them. Why, I don't really know, but they've given up. They've given up. And they feel that they have no other recourse but to move. So that's why it's the same few of us speaking. I've not given up, and I believe that with smart decisions, we can make Woodland Hills great again by holding people accountable and make them do the jobs they were hired to do and stop accepting excuses as to why they can't do their jobs timely and well.
Thank you. we'll move on to the agenda.
Yep. First one is Board Matters and Action Item 2.1, permission to adopt as a first and final reading revised Policy 210 on use of medications. This expands people who can administer meds.
Any questions about that?
Move to Section 4, Special Education, Action Item 4.1, approval to ratify contract with Allegheny Intermediate Unit for speech and language support services for the 17-18 school year.
Any questions? Okay.
Action Item 4.2, approval to ratify contracts with PLE for a private licensed facility for the 17-18 school year.
Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. So we've used these guys. This isn't a new contract, right? This is already okay. I just had time to go back to last year's.
Yeah,
okay.
We do it every year with them.
That's what I thought. I
think it was like the second year we used them at the tail end of 15, 16, all last year and
okay.
This year, if I'm not mistaken.
Action Item 4.3, approval to ratify the facility staffing agreement with Maximum Staffing Services beginning September 22nd of 2017.
Any questions?
Yeah, same question. I don't remember this company either. We're providing physical therapy, right?
Ms. Johnson?
I don't know if we've used Maximum before. Do you?
Right, yeah, this is a new contract because usually we contract out our PT services to AIU, but there's not enough staffing to help this need, so that's what we had to reach out.
Okay. Any other questions?
And this is part of an IEP, right? Yeah. If I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or other health impairment. Action Item 4.4, approval to ratify contract with News Story for the 17-18 school year.
Any questions?
We've worked with them for a couple of years. Action Item 4.5, approval for provision of services by Education, Inc., a provider of educational services to students who are receiving care at the Southwood Hospital during the 17-18 school year.
Any questions? Okay.
Move to Personnel, Action Item 6.1, which would be request the Board approve Sections B, C, D, F, and G of the Personnel tab.
Any questions? Okay.
7, Technology, Action Item 7.1, request permission and authorization to enter into a multi-year contract with Power School as our new student information management system.
Any questions on that?
Section.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I just want to give Steve and the rest of those guys credit for all the work they did to sort through all these different companies that do this, right? Everybody seems pretty psyched about having Power School, but those guys did a ton of work.
And Jim Clausen, too.
Jim Clausen,
Jim was really instrumental.
Absolutely. I also want to point out that while we had feared we'd be paying for the two systems in parallel for a year, that won't actually be the case.
That's right.
We will pay for setup and training during the transition, but not for the actual system itself until July 1st, when our contract with the current system is up. So that's a little bit more of a cost advantage than we thought we'd have as well. So, but yes, I second Dr. Hildebrand's kudos to the team that worked on this and the extensive research that they put into it. So, you have more to say? Did I cut you off?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. All right.
Action Item 9.2, request approval of an MOU with Pittsburgh Public Schools and the Allegheny County Department of Human Services.
We skipped 9.1.
Oh, I'm sorry. We did. Action Item 9.1, request approval to purchase a Globe meat slicer for the high school cafeteria at a cost of $5,572 from Capital Reserve.
Any questions? Okay. Seeing none.
Action Item 9.2, request approval of the Memorandum of Understanding with Pittsburgh Public Schools and the Allegheny County Department of Human Services for development of plans for shared transportation services. This is just a data sharing agreement.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Action Item 9.3, request the Board approve a draft MOU between the district and the Carnegie Mellon University for research on student transportation. Mr. Vogel's been working on that. He will have some more comments on that next week.
Okay. All right. Any questions on that at this point? Okay.
Buildings and Grounds, Action Item 10.1, request approval to purchase additional cafeteria tables from PEMCO for the Academy, for the Woodland Hills Academy from the Capital Reserve Fund. Total cost of $3,600.
Any questions on that?
Did we not get new tables when they renovated down there?
Yes, we didn't have enough.
We didn't get enough. Yeah.
Okay. So it's not a matter of replacing ones that were...
We need more tables.
We underestimated the size.
Yeah.
Okay.
Action item 10.2, permission to ratify change order number 1 from Field Turf in the amount of $7,500 with funding coming from Capital Reserve, Project Fund 39.
Any questions?
Yeah. So I have to admit, I didn't understand the explanation of this in the update. So what
happened was Tim Foster and I kind of took over the Wolverina project in June, and we noticed that the color blue that was selected was a powder blue, and it was the standard palette that Field Turf had, and it was not
Woodland Hills.
It wasn't ordered correctly,
that part was easy. Why
custom color. And their facility is in Germany, and to get custom color, because there's 8 palettes that they use only, and custom color just costs more money, and the Pantone 299 lowercase c that we use had to be created in Germany, because that's where their house company is. But they did freight it over to us for free.
Pantone 299C.
Lowercase.
Lowercase c.
I guess the question is, why are we just paying for this? Why did we not know that this was coming but not?
They reached out to us. I don't know how that happened.
Has it reached out to us with a bill? Is that what you're saying? Is that what you call reaching out?
No. When we went to do the order, this was just missed back when we put everything together. This should have been approved back when we put the order in. Okay, Alicia was on this one. I didn't find out until I basically got the change order, and I said, wait a minute, where did this come from? Because we never approved the change order. I know you changed the color, but if there's more dollars involved, the board has to approve, which is a ratification after the fact, that we went off palette and had to get a special color because that's our team color.
So if we don't pay it, do they come back and take the Field Turf off the ground?
They basically make life miserable for our credit.
And are we paying for a color twice, or
no?
The color that we didn't have was never actually.
One's in stock and one they had to make.
Yeah.
That's really the key. This had to be made. That's why it is a cost. And the other one didn't have to be made. They already had it. So this was additional because this had to be produced.
It's their standard color.
They don't carry it.
Can we make sure Reynolds know that there's a specific color that they're decided to paint in our?
Fairly certain we're well aware of that now.
Can we make sure we get the right color?
Mr. Pierce knows.
Mr. Pierce knows.
We should make sure life is getting the same color everywhere.
That's going to be in the Crayola crayon box soon, right?
It is a color at Sherwin-Williams right now.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we had to order paint to match
Color that was
that
available.
strand of grass. So there is a, I think, what is it, Woodland Hills?
Blue at
Sherwin-Williams.
What was the original cost from the original estimate? What's the difference between?
$7,500. It was let me see, where is it?
I mean, the field itself, the carpet itself, Mike, was what, 125, 130,000?
No, I got it. Wait a minute. The original contract price was $344,407.86.
That would have included the color that was on their standard palette.
But it's like
This color
you wanted an option. Okay, so if you want to add air conditioning to your car, it cost you more. You wanted a
custom
color, that wasn't, that they had to mix and make. It was $7,500. So that's the difference.
Okay, I was just curious why we're seeing it now, after it's been installed and all this stuff. So
we could just not approve it. It's already there. They're not going to cover it up.
That's why I asked.
Right.
Any additional questions on that? Okay.
Action item 10.3, the administration requests approval of the proposal to supply and install replacement boiler burner at the intermediate school from CSE in the amount of $17,800. It's per the CoStar's contract, and funding will come from capital reserve. So we don't have to bid this because it's on the CoStar's contract.
Any questions?
We're not having any heating issues over there now, are we?
Yeah, we are.
So,
Bob, how's the heat at the intermediate school?
So far, everything's going all right. But again, if boiler 1 goes down,
we're running on one boiler, right?
We're only running on one boiler.
So if that goes down, then we don't have any heat.
how long does it take to install a new one?
Well, it actually takes 6 weeks for this to come in.
So we're probably
Beginning
of the year, yeah.
Living on a wing of a prayer here, yeah.
So is this going to give us 2 functional boilers, or is this just for the?
Give us 2 functional
Okay,
boilers.
so it's not just repairing the one that's
goes
working.
Down to, we'll back it up.
Okay.
But
Okay, so what happens if
neither one will go down.
if one goes down currently this winter? Does that mean we're canceling school in that?
That's my job to make sure it doesn't happen. That's why I need this approved.
But he's asking, can we run it on one boiler in the winter? And I think we've decided we can.
But
it's not optimal.
But if that boiler goes down,
I think
we are
My
not
question
having
is,
school.
If the current one, if we're waiting 6 weeks
Yeah.
to even get the boiler so we can install
Yeah,
it.
you understood. We can run the building on the one boiler.
We are currently running it right now.
Yeah.
But if this boiler goes down,
Well, I know.
we do not have to.
Yes, we know that.
They're coming to your house.
But right now, we've got.
I've already had combustion service boiler 1. They've been through the whole school district, so later on, I'll sit down with all you and give you information about all the boilers in the school district. So boiler 1 is currently fine. We cleaned it. We did the maintenance that's supposed to be done with it. So, but we desperately need this boiler room. So.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Action item 10.4 is the permission for use of facilities by outside organizations. Any question on any of that?
Anybody have questions on that?
Okay. Action item 10.5, request approval of the quote for new gym doors for the high school, also on the CoStar's contract, in the amount of $4,145 coming from the Capital Reserve Fund. These are the doors, I think, connecting to the pool area. Is that correct, Bob?
Yeah, the old gym.
It's the old gym going into the pool, which is why they need to be replaced. They've just gotten corroded from the air in the pool.
It's unsafe as of now.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Action item 10.6, request the administration to approve a 1-year agreement with J.C. Ehrlich at a monthly rate per building as per the attached sheet, which I forget what that number is, but the quote is attached there. Ehrlich has provided very good service for us, so I think that's correct, isn't it, Bob?
Yes. We've had issues when I first came here using debug throughout the school district. Since we've had it early, all my issues are actually disappearing and going away. I'm not getting any complaints at the high school, and that's a big thing. So as long as we continue with them and using that service that we should be using, we should be fine. And also, right now, I'm calling them on as needed per complaints throughout the school district. So we're actually paying more money by calling them on. Before we get a signed contract, they come to our school on a monthly basis. It's actually a lesser cost.
I didn't see a price. Anybody see a price?
Yeah, there's multiple prices at the back.
It's on the attachment.
Go all the way to the last page.
And yeah, unfortunately, Mike, it's not loading very
Right.
not loading fast.
I can read them to you if you guys would like. The list is for the high school, $85 per month. For the intermediate building, $70 per month. For the academy, $60. For Rankin Building, $55. For Edgewood, $70. For Wilkins, $65. For administration, $50. For the Swissville Library, $45. And for the Wolverina, $45 as well.
And they would automatically just do this as a service, and we pay these prices
Per month.
Per month.
Correct. That's my understanding from Mr. Finney. Yeah.
And of course, if anything would happen when they come in and do their service, that would be an additional cost to the school district if there was an emergency, if there was a rodent running around inside the building or something of that nature.
Okay. Okay.
Cool.
Any additional questions on that?
Okay, go on to school finance. Action item 12.1, request ratification of the bill list for invoices paid after the October 18th legislative meeting. Any questions on the ratifications? Action item 12.2, request approval of the November 2017 bill list. Any questions?
Any questions there?
Action item 12.3, request the acceptance of the October 2017 fund reports for informational purposes.
Any questions?
12.4, request approval of the investment reports for October of 2017.
Any questions?
Action item 12.5, request the acceptance of the October 2017 student activity reports for informational purposes.
Any questions there?
Action item 12.6, request permission to remove the lien on block lot 237-D-344 for the years 2013-14. This was a church that was improperly assessed, apparently, I believe. Correct, Mike?
Yeah, they bought an exempt property.
Yeah.
And they thought when they bought the property, since they were exempt, the property would remain exempt. But they had to file for the exemption. They didn't. And they didn't realize it after they started getting tax bills. So now they're asking to go back and wipe out the taxes from day one because they have their exemption now.
All right. Any questions on that?
What's the value of that? Because that wasn't in the letter.
Wasn't put it on here.
It's not on the tab at all.
I don't see it on the attachment either. We find that out now.
We add that to the tab for next week, Mike?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not sure it really matters that. I mean, I'm just curious.
No, it's we need to start. We need to start making sure that amounts are on all of our tabs. So I'll remind the administrative team while we're sitting there. We got to make sure we put the dollar amounts on these tabs anytime we do it. And it's not on the attachment in the tab itself.
It's right. It's not in the letter that they sent.
Yeah, no, you need to know that.
It should be readily apparent.
It should be right on the tab, even if it's in the attachment. It should still be on the tab. Anything else on this? We can move on. Moving to Superintendent, Section 14, request approval of the agreement with Reynolds Construction for mechanical, electrical, plumbing, design, and pre-construction services at the Woodland Hills Junior Senior High School, pending the approval of a standard AIA agreement as reviewed by the district solicitor. And you can see the cost there are $1,072,000 for MEP and $151,000 for pre-construction services.
Questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had talked about the different scales of the project. So choices 1, 2, and 3. And so is this for all three? I mean, yeah. So because we haven't decided on how we're doing that yet.
Correct. Yes. And we are still working on putting together that list for you of the differences between 1, 2, and 3 and the prices associated with each one. My understanding was that you wanted us to proceed with the $45 million option because everybody agreed that needed to happen. And if we decide to move on to one of the other options and the services change, we would address it at that time. So that's how we based this proposal.
Okay.
And I think that's carried
that was
through
in there.
all.
I'm sorry. Okay.
That's going to carry through all these proposals. It's what you're looking at is the base project, and then any additional will be approved.
Okay, that was separately my question on that, and I'm sorry if that was in there and I missed it.
Oh, that's okay. Fair question.
No, it wasn't clear. Anything else?
Okay.
We'll stay up there, Rob. Action item 14.2, request approval of the Reynolds Construction Agreement for MEP design and construction management services at the Rank and Promise Program building, pending an approved standard AIA agreement, reviewed and approved by the district solicitor. The MEP design is $183,000 and $555,000 for construction management services, and I believe that would be for the entire project, correct?
Yes, yeah. I felt like we had a better grasp on what the plan was moving forward there, so we put the whole construction management proposal in at once.
That's why it's higher for Rankin than it is for the high school, because the high school it's only that pre-construction service. This would be the $550 would be for the entire project beginning to end.
But again, is this the version that has the administrative offices moving down there and all that stuff?
This
is the highest cost for that one, not the base cost.
No, it's the one that had the highest.
Yeah, this is the
DAO and ranking.
Maintain the 3,500 square foot multi-purpose room, build about 10,000 square foot administrative wing, and 37,000 square feet total. So, or no, wait, no, I'm sorry, 37,000 square feet of educational space.
I thought there was another option. I thought it was 7, 9, and 12.
Right, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
Well,
So is this the middle option or the high option?
This is the 12. This is $12 million.
$12 million.
Which is what I directed them to do. So this isn't Reynolds' fault. This is what I told them to do. I thought we kind of agreed at the committee that's the way we were going to go. If not, then let's change it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't agree to that.
I'm not sure that was where we came down. I thought we were looking at the middle option there as well.
Yeah, we didn't.
So my question on it is, if we vote not to approve this option at this point until we decide what money we're spending at the high school, right? Because we have a limited pot of money to spend, right? And I'm not speaking for anybody else, but at least in my opinion, the junior senior high has to take priority over the other project besides the Dixon project, right? And so I think until we determine what we're spending at the high school, I think it's hard to come up with a plan to do Rankin. And not that I don't want to, play down the importance of renovating Rankin. I understand that, but at least in my opinion, high school is highest priority.
The thing to remember is Rankin is in substantially worse condition than just about any other building we have. I mean, we have parts of that building that aren't heated. Bob, would you weigh in? We just have new problems with the boilers there that aren't going to be fixed until the building's renovated, basically.
We have boiler issues, but they will be repaired this week. And again, it's more about preventive maintenance, which I got to train my guys on, and then that issue will disappear.
I thought it will recur because of the pipe scaling.
Right.
It's going to just keep happening over and over.
Well, I got to keep the water treatment. But we have the ventilation in the school is awful. You can't walk down the hallways without smelling bad odor from the restrooms and that. And none of those units on the roof work. They're over 40 years old. You can't put money into that to repair them. So that's one of the biggest issues there itself. Then you got walls falling apart on some of the outside of the buildings, and your back parking lots are falling apart, crumbling away. Exteriors. That's basically about the exterior of the building.
So then it's going to leave less money for the high school, obviously. So we wouldn't have $45 million for the high school.
If you did the $12 million at Rankin and the $45 million at the high school, you would be right up against it. You wouldn't be able to go beyond that $45 million at the high school, really. You would be, because 12 and 45 is 57, 26 at Rankin is, it's right around your $85 million that you've identified.
But the difference between, this is basically about the district administrative offices at Rankin is what we're talking about.
Correct. That's what this proposal is for the district administrative offices at Rankin added approximately $2 million to the project cost.
Right.
If the DAO stays here, it goes down to that roughly $10 million range at Rankin.
So the way we're looking at it, though, is the most we get out of not doing this is an extra $2 million.
Right.
And that's not going to do much on a $45 million project. So you're not going to get the high school you want for $2 million more than what you got now. It's going to cost a lot more than that to get more stuff. $2 million's not going to buy very much. But if that's the board's wish, obviously we'll do that.
You're saying we're getting more bang for the buck, $2 million at Rankin?
Well, our thought was you get a lot more bang on your buck because you make this building potentially available for sale or for lease, and it becomes revenue, plus it's more efficient and more than what you're doing now. You're heating and lighting a lot less building than you are presently. And so, yeah, that's basically what we're saying is you'll get a lot more out of that $2 million invested at Rankin, and then it's not going to end up adding significantly to your options at the high school on top of $45 million. And that won't buy any auditorium, it won't buy you any career and tech ed spaces, it won't get you any of those things.
I think it's just too much confusion because I'm still looking at 9.7 number. Where's the other? I thought it was 12. So am I looking at the wrong number?
The 9.7 that you're seeing in this proposal is the construction cost. When you add on all the soft costs for the professional fees and everything, I'm sorry, I apologize for mixing my numbers there.
I think that's why Jeff thought it was a different. I think that's why he didn't.
No, I was just.
It was a 12 because I was confused on that because I thought there was a 7, 9, and a 12. So when I see the 9.7, I thought that was the mid-range option and not the top option.
Is it possible, so with the high school project, we're doing the base and then adding on. Am I correct in understanding that Rankin, that's not possible to design it that way because one option is in the existing space and the other option is a new construction?
We're looking at 3 options for Rankin right now. Existing, renovating it from top to bottom. And I don't think anybody here is fully behind that option. It's an option, but it's not a good option. Option number 2 is building just a new Rankin, maintaining the 3,500 square foot multimedia space, getting rid of everything else. Option 3 is just like option 2, but adding a 10,000 square foot administrative wing on so that the district administrative offices can move there.
Okay. So the difference between the middle option and the high option is the administration
Correct.
building. Okay. Okay.
Have we totally agreed on even moving the administration building? Has that been talked about?
We've talked about it. We've not.
I thought we had reached consensus at the last committee meeting. If my perception wrong, wasn't done intentionally. That's what I generally thought we had agreed to. But
I actually thought we were still waiting for more information. I believe Jamie requested specific information, and that's what I thought we were supposed to be at, because you were asking for different options on some of the high school stuff. Mm-hmm. That's what I remember. I didn't remember of okaying or putting on the agenda that we were going to move forward with that issue until we had all the information.
Right. Now, the high school, it makes sense. I can understand why we would move ahead with the mechanical drawings and things at this point, because it doesn't change that much from option to option. But at Rankin, I think it's a different situation because we've got different configurations that we're looking at. I wonder if it doesn't make sense.
Well, we should probably just set this aside.
Yeah, I was going to say until we get a better feel for where we're going to end up financially after the high school option, we may have to wait on Rankin, I think.
I think the only reason I was urging you to move forward is basically because of the condition of Rankin, and the longer we wait, then the longer till we get started. But if you're unsure, then absolutely we should not move forward with anything related to Rankin at this time. So that would really be 14.2 and 14.3.
Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay.
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 So we won't proceed with any Rankin work right now.
Can I ask another question? Mm-hmm. So we said, or Mr. Johnson, you said that I think 1.2 million isn't a significant cost for anything we put in the high school.
Yeah.
But what I am worried about is the fact that after all this construction is done, we still have 2 buildings we have to do something with. So would that 1.2 million in one of those situations still help us a little bit on what we still need to do with the other 2 buildings, like the current intermediate building after we close it?
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. It could certainly
so that's where I'm
put into Edgewood, or it could be put into Wilkins. So yeah, I can't deny that.
Okay. All right. So additional conversation to follow on Rankin.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
All right, well, then that'll take us to 14.4 and request approval for J.C. Pierce, Architect Amendment 3 for design services related to the Woodland Hills Junior Senior High School. Funding coming from the capital projects. Is there a cost or percentage on that, Mike?
Our cost is a percentage.
It's a percentage.
A little differently than
the
construction manager. So
it's 4.5%.
Construction, as we understood it, was we're going to start design on a $45 million project, and through that we'll be able to develop more detailed information to give you more cost information on it. things you might want to add on. And you're right, it's a little different than Rankin because we kind of know it's one element in Rankin as opposed to the high school can be any number of things. Right. So my fee will just adjust automatically based on the cost.
Okay.
Okay.
Any questions on that? Okay.
Right, now I think you guys can go. Thanks. And last 14.5.
Thank you, guys.
Approval for the superintendent office to issue an RFP for marketing and public relations. I actually don't have an RFP written. I'm working on the commission draft and also on an MOU. But if you're willing to let me get this done before next week, it would just be to issue an RFP for marketing services, as we've discussed a number of times.
Yeah. Any questions on that?
Nope.
Okay.
And then under old business, and was this in the? You didn't put this in the HR tab of the behavior specialist, did you? So under old business, we would need a motion to approve the creation of a new position of behavior specialist at the junior/senior high school.
Right, we have to change the name too. So you want it moved?
Oh yeah, you want it?
I can edit with the update Friday.
Would that be all right? Can we just do it that way?
I'm okay with that. Does anybody have any objection to
just put it in,
putting that in personnel?
So I'll take it out of this and we'll add it to the. Okay.
Okay.
In which case, then there are no other agenda items, Ms. Glasser.
Okay. Moving on to new business. Does anyone have any new business to raise at this point? Okay. Seeing none, I'll note that we will request to approve committee meeting minutes moving forward. That's just an effort to make sure that everyone has access to those and that they are as public as we can make them. That's going to be a ongoing and monthly habit of ours going forward. So that will happen next week.
Jamie.
Yes.
And also, I'd like each committee chair to read what the minutes are so people can hear them.
I concur. Yeah, we'll go through and do some oral reporting as well.
If I can ask. Last month we tabled, where'd it go? G1 and G9. If that 15-1 was either one of them, we have to bring it back.
Okay.
It can't be just added to hers. We have to untable
procedurally.
it. And then,
then we'll do it that way.
Okay, so
all right,
we have to find out what those are first because it just. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we tabled it, so we have to.
So we can pull it back off the table. Okay. That makes sense. Okay. Moving on to public communication. Is there anyone who wishes to address the board? Okay. Seeing none, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. See you next week.